why these people act like this, why these people sacrifice children, why they are all pedophiles, why they worship a demon, well, they're just sick, or well, they're just psychologically deranged, which they are. I wanted to present substance to what they're doing and why they're doing it, because there is a real biology behind this. There is a real science behind this that they are taking advantage of. There's a real understanding, a fundamental understanding of human beings at every level, body, mind, and spirit. And these people have capitalized on the information that they have had for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I'm going to get into it here, but these slides are going to help folks understand just how pernicious these people are. Ruthless. They are ruthless hunters. And they are completely self-consumed. Totally self-consumed. And there's no saving these folks. These folks are dyed-to-the-wool, Luciferian Satanists. They have completely given themselves to this cult. And there's no turning back, and they never will stop. And so the best thing we can do as human beings is we can educate ourselves as to what they're doing and why they're doing it. Because you've got to understand and know your enemy if you're ever going to overcome or defeat your enemy. You absolutely have to understand them fundamentally. And so, because I never see this kind of information on the internet except in just sporadic pockets that I've been looking through for years and years now, I thought if I could put it all together in a way that I understand it, maybe it'll help a lot of folks. And the best thing I think everyone can do is just take the whole of what I've written here and just consider it. The death becoming life reciprocal. Life eats life on this planet. That's the way it works around here. Trees grow greenest at the cemetery. The slowest gazelle is caught first and feeds the lion cub. The forest fire brings forth new growth. The death becoming life reciprocal. It's life and death principle. We are natural conscious creatures, so we are aware both life and death is within us. This raw aspect of ourselves must be accorded, or it will become a source of anxiety, and the mind will become vulnerable without having to believe anything, but just through your own innate understanding. Ask yourself, was it really a fruit Adam and Eve ate that day in Eden? Or is the story referencing something much deeper in the human psyche? Further, is the version of Eden taught to you the actual story, or is it a red herring? Luciferians have run the world since organized human history began. They have been steering and shaping the planetary cultural vector since long before the United States, Rome, or even the Egyptians. This cult goes way back. It's also known as the Old Religion. They have maintained direct contact with a fourth-dimensional being known as Lucifer for thousands of years. Lucifer is a parasitic, genderless phantasmagoria. It has been anthropomorphized into human recognizable forms and names throughout time, and all over the world. It, and a legion of other fourth-dimensional beings like it, have been pilfering the human race since the beginning. More information on the families can be found in a 1995 PDF by Fritz Springmeier titled Bloodlines of the Illuminati. It is available for free on the internet. It does not matter if you don't believe this stuff. They do. And they will continue their plan to dominate planet, keep it satanic, and remain in full control if we do not wake up. That's our responsibility. No one is coming to save us. We must save ourselves from these parasites. They will hold their position of authority over us until we all wake up and discover what's really going on to put a stop to their agenda. The awakened cannot be unawakened, and they know this about us. Awakening is our greatest asset. That's why it's their greatest fear. We're like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. We have everything we need already to change the situation. They regard the entire episode as a cunning stunt played on us, the cattle. As we donate to their con, we offer permission to carry out their scheme. We are complicit because we support their narrative even though we don't know what we're doing. We enable the con because it would not happen without our participation. Not understanding begets fear, so they have kept us in the dark about everything, so understanding was not available. We are caught in an intended ignorance. Knowledge is power. If we are deceived because of their lies, they simply are playing a more cunning game, and so they inherit control through our enabling of it. Nature is merciless. Our only option is self-responsibility. Our only option is self-responsibility. Because if you get caught in a way of thinking trap, only you can get yourself out. Nothing outside of you can be responsible for you. Fervent prayer may be good mental exercise, but it does not unlock the trap. Physical action, paying attention, learning, awareness, these unlock the trap. Physical action, paying attention, learning, awareness, these unlock the trap. Luciferian power rests upon deceiving us into belief, and then acting out upon a world they suggest while distrusting the one we actually experience. Turning the human mind against itself until mental rigor mortis sets in and development stops. Humans must defeat themselves to be defeated. Kathy O'Brien and Mark Passio estimate 600,000 to over 1 million children per year are destroyed by this cult in allegiance to Lucifer. How can this be possible? Well, maybe because the FBI does not keep track of missing children, which is interesting because the last time I checked, the FBI and CIA basically track everything, from what we text to who our friends are, where we eat, where we sleep, what we drive, but none of those agencies track how many children go missing each year. Does that make any sense to anybody? So where I shower and where I work is more important to the FBI and CIA than human offspring? The evidence supports yes, since they do not keep track. And that's the issue. They don't care about us. We are cattle to be deceived just as their father has taught them. Because if it was official 1 million children were disappearing each year, we would revolt. Your kids are their next Happy Meal.
Fourth dimensional beings feed on the electromagnetic energy humans emit. The same electromagnetic energy an acupuncturist accesses with stainless steel pins to invigorate natural force to heal the human body is the same energy these insidious creatures crave. We are morphic resonance imbued with consciousness, and since satanic beings are parasites, they seek to consume us. We carry precious, beautiful, perfectly balanced life force which they do not and cannot contain. In this way, you are assured you are not a demagogic being, as the Luciferians insist. You are imbued with an energy a demagogue, namely Lucifer, cannot possess, and therefore could never make manifest. In other words, a thorn does not bear grapes. This is your assurance of identity as a conscious, natural being. You are more in accord with a metamorphosing butterfly than a fourth dimensional being. Don't buy their lies about you. Nature's bounty is your yin-yang inheritance, not a curse. Do not be deceived, fellow human. You are not and never were a wretch. Bound by three-dimensional laws of space that hold us in a state of tensioned splendor. They see humans as something to devour, nothing more than fodder for consumption. They are pure darkness, and this emptiness, lack, drives their craving for our life energy. They do not contain potential, nor seek from life in ways that we can and do. We are a drug to them. These fourth-dimensional beings are merely a predatory species, roaming the universe looking for an opportunity. They found one on this planet. These parasites want us to think of them as an overwhelming threat, since threat introjects fear. Fear compromises human will. They know this about us. We are surrounded by their deceptions. The cattle, all of us, are to be a living sacrifice. They are here to rule us into an inevitable self-destruction which they orchestrated, instigated, and are seeing through. This is why wars throughout time have been global manipulations, not chance occurrence between enemies. The overreaching conception of what life really is, what a human being is, what the universe is, all is opposite to what you believe. As the movie Dune proclaimed, fear is a mind killer, and it indeed is. Humans can be endlessly manipulated if they are complicit in the controlling mechanism. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are all master control mechanisms. Western religion controls masses of people by limiting their potential through fear. Believe you're a sinner, and you'll act it out, live, and die as one. As Ram Dass wrote, if you think you're free, there is no escape. We all have electromagnetic energy pouring out of us because we are a wellspring of physical and spiritual power. As we age, life experience shifts the color spectrum of our electromagnetics from clear white, like that of a baby, to all the colors of a rainbow. And so each torrent of electromagnetic current surrounding each human being is of a unique color signature based on experience, life attitude, and the surrounding environment. Just like we transform physical elements like bread and water into mental energy, these fourth-dimensional beings transform our electromagnetics into fourth-dimensional loosh. Loosh is a slang term for electromagnetics as food in a usurping, raping sense, because we contain natural earth energy while holding a large potential of consciousness. Children are most desired because they carry the purest loosh. The longer a child can be kept alive under greater and greater levels of pain, the more loosh can be pilfered from the child. That's why physical torture is an essential part of the satanic ritual. The sacrificing agent must be brought to a high energy output. Think of humans in terms of commercial production of meat when attempting to grasp how they see us. We are merely cattle to them. If we do not awaken to our truth, Luciferians will enslave us all to their bidding. Nature is merciless. We all must recognize and therefore experience the limitless truth that we are to save ourselves from these parasites. Truth can take any pressure applied. Truth always prevails. Be it.